Good evening and welcome back to the 1973 deep level tube stock, or the Piccadilly line. We're in Rayners Lane sidings. We are 18:21 in the evening and I need a key to get into the cab. There we go. And we're heading up to Cockfosters. As usual, we're running late, so I'm going to get the train set up and then we'll chat some more. Get you set there. That's off, that's open. Need some keys. Where are we going? Cockfosters, we're not stopping at Turnham Green, and we're at Rayners Lane. Oh, I haven't even got time to adjust my seat. I'll deal with that in a moment. Well, I don't know if I said we're running late, which is nothing new. Well, actually, we're not as late as I thought. We're only about 5 or 6 minutes late. We can easily make that time up if nothing gets in our way, because we won't be held at places like South Harrow and Acton Town and Hammersmith. So let's get stopped, and I suppose we better pick some passengers up. Right, DVO working. That's my seat. Let's go. For those of you old enough to remember, go, 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 BA. Anyway, well, good evening. Hello, welcome. We're heading eastbound. If you don't know, those tracks on the left there are Metropolitan line. We don't want to go down there, because if we do, I'm going to have to go and see a manager, and I don't really want to do that. Here, let's see, so where are we? 17, yeah, so we're 7 minutes late. Not the end of the world. And believe it or not my fault, I don't think. So this duty, I was meant to pick up the train off the platform at Cockfosters, but for whatever reason, I had to go fetch it out of the depot. However, I didn't know until about 10 minutes before I was due to pick up my train, because normally if I know I'm going into the depot, even before I've booked on, I'll go down early, so I haven't got to rush. Yes, I was rushing around, and I brought it out of Oakwood depot about 10 minutes late from what it would have been if I'd have brought it off the platform. I didn't have a chance to film it because I was trying to get out as close to on time as possible. So that's where we are. So yeah, first half should have been Cockfosters, Rayners Lane, Cockfosters. Obviously I've done Oakwood, Rayners Lane, Cockfosters. Then I'm going to travel down to Arnes Grove. I'm going to have a coffee in a chinwag, and then I'm going straight westbound to Terminal 5, Cockfosters and Stable just before 20 past midnight. So it's a 7-hour 45-minute duty today. It's not too bad. This is South Harrow. And yes, I did wave at the little girl. I'll always wave if I can. Let's see. All right. Some people on the bridge ahead. We'll give them a little toot as we get closer. I can see some children, I think. Yeah, waving away. There you go, 2 little toots. I'm feeling generous. But that means at some point someone's not going to get a toot because, you know, I can't give too many away. South Harrow sidings there on your left hand side. If you've seen my rusty rail move video, you'll see me go in and out of there. In fact, the other day, what are we on? So today's Tuesday, so last Friday I had that rusty rail move that I did the video for, but it had an extra bit on it. Unfortunately, it got cancelled, so all I did was went from Cockfosters. I emptied out, detrained at Sudbury Hill, and then stabled it in the sidings, South Harrow. So yeah, I didn't manage to film that. And then last night I was supposed to do Down Street. When I got to Rayners Grove, we would detrain, which I did. I changed ends, ready to go to Down Street, and they rang me up. And they said, do you want to do it? I said, you know, I'm on the West End, I'm ready to go, it's up to you. I said, oh, I can change ends and go on the East. And he went, I tell you what, he said, just put it on the sidings at Rayners Grove. So yeah, that's what I did. I did film going into the sidings, a very short video, probably a couple of minutes long. I've not looked at the footage yet to see whether it's come out very well for a video, or certainly a little bonus video, but if it is, I'll put it out at some point, if it's not out already. This is Sudbury Hill.
Hello sir, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Mr. Train Driver.
Hello. You okay? Good. Bye. Take care. That little girl in the last platform, she was waving to me, so just stuck my head out the door to wave back. Children just love it when you wave back. Unfortunately, they lose that innocence when they get a little bit older, and they just become rat bags. But that's another issue entirely. Where are we? So Sudbury Town will be next. I'm glad it's not raining. When I was driving into work it was raining, so makes life a little easier if we haven't got wet tracks. I do have the door open. That's the offside door. I've said a few times we are allowed the offside door open as long as there's no one sat in the opposite seat. A few people still ask if we're allowed, but yes, we are. I don't know what the air conditioning's like on this side. I know on the other end it wasn't great. Either that or it's because I had to walk into the depot. I'm not built for speed, I'm built for comfort, and I'm certainly not built for walking. Like a big comfy armchair that talks. So we are downhill here. Don't think it always comes out well, the gradients on the videos. So I always take these stations a little bit easier than I would if they were, you know, flat tracks into it. I'd rather stop halfway down the platform than 1 yard past it. And if you want to know what we do or what the options are if we do overshoot a platform or go past a red signal, I did a very short video actually the other day when I was at home. That should have come out. This video hopefully will be out on the Saturday. So that video should have come out on the Wednesday just before, assuming I've got time to edit this before the weekend. But check it out anyway. If it should be up by the time this video goes out, is where I'm trying to go with that one. It's about 7 minutes and it's just me rabbiting on as usual. But when I'm not on the front of a train, it's easier to talk about things because I'm not concentrating so much on driving. Those of you who've watched my other videos will know sometimes I forget what I'm saying because I'm sort of concentrating on what I'm doing. That and I'm a bit stupid, but we'll just gloss over that for today. Alperton next. Everyone's waving at me today, they're obviously all in a good mood. So we've got a whistle board here. People ask what the whistle board's for. It's just for poor visibility. So we would blow our whistle between 7 AM, 7 PM unless it's an emergency. Now granted, in some locations now you probably don't need the whistle board because you can see since they've cut the trees and various other things have changed over the time. But until they take away the whistle boards, we'll still whistle. Yeah, between 7 and 7. These are busy stations for these outer London stations. Must be a bit of a gap. So Alperton, I don't know if I said that's where I am. And this is the place with the only wooden escalator. It is behind a wall so you can't see it, it's certainly not in use, but yeah, it does have a wooden escalator. Fully useless facts, nothing of interest. Well, I suppose it is interesting to some people. Park Royal is next. Park Royal can be a busy station. So people often ask me what my sort of weeks look like in terms of rest days and things. So we work 5 days a week. However, sometimes we'll do 7 days straight so that we can have a long weekend off. So if we was to work 7 days, we could have Friday, Saturday off because our working week starts on a Sunday. And then, when that's gone, and then if we have the Sunday, Monday off as well, we've got to work another 7 days to make up. But this week anyway, I had Sunday off. I had Saturday from last week, Sunday of this week. Work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which will be tomorrow. I've got Thursday off. In Friday, Saturday, I should be doing the night tube, but I've given those away. Someone else is going to do them, and I'll just be doing 2 late duties. Then I'll have Sunday off, and I've not looked further than that. I think it'll probably be something like Sunday and Thursday or something, and then it'll probably be, I've got a feeling there's a long weekend coming up in a couple of 3 weeks, so but yeah, that's how that looks. It changes each week, and our working week always starts on a Sunday. Right, Park Royal. These not in use signs that you may have seen on the left there, they're stopping marks for the new trains. Everyone on, we've got a green. Let's mosey on out of here. So next stop will be North Ealing, which is the least used station on the Piccadilly line. We should have a red signal before then. 99% of the time it's red, very occasionally it's green. You watch, it'll be green just to make me look like a liar. Oh no, the repeater's on for it anyway. So I'm going to start slowing down now. Sometimes it clears just before you get to it, other times you almost stop before it clears. But I know it's there, so as far as I'm concerned it's red until it's not. You just be able to see that just ahead. So I'm doing 20 miles an hour at the moment, I'm just bringing that down. Oh, it's changed. And the station starter, that's the signal at the end of the platform, that's green as well, because the top one is for green is for this signal, and the next green down is actually the repeater for the station starter. And then there's a new signal lower down ready for the new trains. That's why some signals have multiple signals on them. So I've double checked the station starter just in case the repeater's not working correctly, and it is green or clear or showing a proceed aspect. Ultimately it means I can go. Often we get held here for the district line to come across from Ealing Broadway. You'll see the points in a minute. So just on the right hand side where that train is where the district line would cut across. You can just see the points here in the middle of the track there. So if a district line was signalled in front of us, we would have been held at the station starter. There's other reasons we can get held there, for regulations or just a train in front. Ealing Common. Station starter is red. That's what that yellow just ahead is telling me. We are downhill, it can pick up a bit of speed, and you've got a bend into the platform, so it's harder to see what's going on. So I'm in service 2, that's my brakes. We have service 1, 2, 3, 4 and emergency. So service 1, and I'll sort of move the handle around as I want to change the brake settings for either more brakes or less brakes. So that if you're new to the channel and you wonder what a lot of the clicking is, it's me going through one to the other, just trying to bring the train to a smooth stop in the right place. And sorry about the other noise, I was just having a mint. Anyone want one? No? Okay. I wasn't going to charge much. I think £1 a mint is enough, or, you know, reasonable. So you've got Ealing Common Depot there for the district line on the left. Now in a minute, I keep meaning to show you and I keep forgetting. If it's still there, you'll see a post all bent on the right hand side, and it's because, I can't remember when, was it about a year ago, a large tree fell. Let me see, is it still here? It's around here somewhere. Where is it? Just around this corner. yeah, so just coming up on the right hand side, you'll see, yeah, a post not standing up. Yeah, a large tree came down. You can probably see where it took the fence there because there's a green bit there. Absolutely messed up the area. Trains had to do wrong directional moves all the way back up to South Harrow to go into the sidings. People decided to self-evacuate off trains, and it was just an absolute nightmare. Right, we are going into the local, which is 15-mile-an-hour limit there. If we was going into the fast, we'd have 3 harbour lights, that's the white lights. But you can see ahead, you see 2 greens, so the one to the left is for us, the other one is for the train that's come from Heathrow or Northfields. I can just hear it now. Probably overtake us in a second. Maybe. I can hear it anyway. Now when we come into the local here, we have to be really careful that we don't take the wrong signal, because if we do, we've either got to do a wrong directional move back onto the platform, or we've got to go all the way up to West Kensington to reverse back. And I really don't want to be doing any of that. We'll see who goes first. Me. We're still 5 minutes down. How you doing?
Not too bad, it's good to see you doing some work.
It won't happen again, trust me. I'll see you later.
See you later. Have a good one.
And you. I don't know if you heard that. One of the drivers went, it's good to see you doing some work. It's just rude. And the reason nobody sees me doing any work is because I make this look so easy. That's my excuse. It's like if I have a short duty. I always say to people, the reason I've got a short duty is because I can do as much work in, let's say, Heathrow and back as it takes someone to do in 2 Heathrow trips and back. I'm just saying. I'm not sure anyone buys it, but anyway, there you go. Right, so if you're regular, you'll know we're running non-stop now down to Hammersmith. Just checking the time. So we're 7:15, so I'll be blowing my whistle for places like Turnham Green, Stamford Brook and Ravenscourt Park. I'm trying to think then. I can smell the burning from here. And there's an aeroplane. Can't see what it is or whose it is. Could be American, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not on it, so it doesn't really matter. So just on our left is the eastbound local, and then just beyond that on the left is the line from Richmond. You just see it joining here. Many moons ago we used to run up the local, but they've taken the points out at Hammersmith, so we can't get back across now. That's why you've got to double check your signal at Acton Town if you're in the local. So we're just doing 40 mile an hour, speed limit's 45. train there on the left hand side. Does anybody, if you're old enough, remember the old Milky Way advert? The red car and the blue car had a race. Every time I do something like this where I pass it, that song always sticks in my head. I know, it's stupid, but it's always in my head. So the last station we're non-stopping at, we've just gone through Stamford Brook. Now we've got Ravens Court Park. And I think I've said in previous videos, if there was an issue, we could be asked to stop and open the doors. In fact, I did hear them ask a train earlier to stop and open their doors when I was going the opposite direction. So I'm just going to start braking. We've got a 20-mile-an-hour temporary speed restriction coming up. There are some flashing lights between the running rail in the forefoot. If they're working, you might just see them. I don't even know if they're working, to be honest. But they're just here. You see a little box. Oh, they are flashing, yeah. 20-mile-an-hour limits there. And it's to slow us down. Just round that corner is a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit. That's to slow you down for a signal that I've talked about before, Whiskey Delta 8 Alpha. There's several repeaters for it. Because basically if you come down here too fast, you're not going to be able to stop for that signal. Even though there's I think 2-3 repeaters, you've got this checkerboard to remind you it's there. So that's a repeater as well. And the signal in question is this one just here on the right hand side. So we're doing 15. Where that next signal is on the right hand side, it goes up to 25 just before the platform. I normally get it to about 20-ish. It's about 21, 22 miles an hour. This is Hammersmith. Before I forget, I'm going to close the cab door. I'm in the habit of closing it here because the amount of times I've thought I'll do it at Barron's Court and then forgot and gone into the tunnel with the door open. So there is a siding here. You'll see it just on the right hand side. You see the points ahead just here. We can do lots of moves in that siding. I think it was last year we had lots of engineering works and we was using that siding a lot at weekends. I don't know if we've got any more coming up, but I'll try, when we do have it, I'll try and film it. Because on the Piccadilly line anyway, I think that is it's the only siding you can take passengers in most of the moves. The only one you can't is from the eastbound platform that we was just on. If you leave in there going into the sidings, you can't take passengers, but all the other moves you can. But I would explain that if and when I next do it. So Barron's Court. Got a trip cock tester here. It's just to make sure the trip cock arm is aligned properly so that if we did pass a signal it would bring the brakes on. So the light's gone out, which tells me it's in the correct alignment. Earl's Court next. So we're headed into the pipe. We've got 20 stations that we use. There is some disused stations there. It'll take about 40 minutes-ish, 45 minutes, something like that. And we've got a 20-mile-an-hour limit just as we go down the hill into the tunnel. And again, I've talked about it before, but that's to protect a signal. It's a speed controlled signal. So if you're going too fast, it will never clear. But again, I think I've explained in videos before, just because you're doing, in this case, less than 20 mile an hour doesn't mean it will clear. If there's a train ahead, it won't clear, or if the signal's failed, it won't clear. But it's held for 655. We have several repeaters. We've got a little checkered board there to remind us. There's even a brake board. I'm doing about 15 at the moment. Now, I've been driving just call it 8 years. Yeah, 8 years this month actually, since I passed out. I've never stopped at the Alpha 655. It's always gone green, but I know it could stay red, so you've always got to be prepared, because that's what will catch you out as a driver. You'll go, oh yeah, but if I'm doing this, that signal always does this, and the day it doesn't is the day you can't stop for it. So I just like to, as far as I'm concerned, they're red until they're not. And so far that's kept me out of trouble. So these flashing lights that you can see clearer in the dark here, that's for the end of the speed restriction. So if you see lights like that, it's for a temporary speed restriction at the beginning of it and at the end. So Earl's Court. And if you want the district line from here, you have to head upstairs. Now, don't expect it to be too busy tonight. It's a Tuesday. Because I tend to do the later shifts anyway, I tend to miss most of the worst of the rush hour, unless something's gone wrong. I know people keep asking me to do the rush hour videos. I've been asked to do the ones, do rush hour in the morning, but I only do the lates. So until that changes, I won't be able to do a morning rush hour video for you, I'm afraid. But you're not missing much. Imagine how tired I am now. Imagine if I've got to get up at 1 in the morning to start at 4:40. I'm really going to be grumpy. Anywho, got another speed restriction coming up, 25 mile an hour limit. You should see flashing lights. Yeah, they're sort of on. Yeah, you can just about see them. And that is for sighting distance, that if you're going any faster, the signal round the corner, if it was red, you wouldn't have time to stop. So 25 mile an hour limit here. It's for this signal here, and you'll see the temporary speed limit ends at that signal. Gloucester Road is next. Find this a particularly busy station. Don't really know what's around here in the local area. I don't think I've ever even so much as stood on the platform here, let alone gone upstairs. Next stop is South Kensington. So these blue boards on the right hand side, that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you've not seen my previous videos, they're countdown markers. Up to car 6 we're classed as within station limits. So for argument's sake, if the power goes out and we're at car marker 3, we're to stop the train because we're within station limits. Same if someone pulls a passenger alarm within station limits, we have to stop, go back and deal with it. Excuse me. Because we can evacuate if we need to onto the platform. And that's really what it's there for, just to say you've got roughly this many cars on the platform. So we've got the South Kent bends coming up. There is a 15-mile-an-hour temporary speed limit, although it could do with a clean, you can barely see it. And that's due to the wheel screeching. It's been like that, I can't remember now, 2-3 years? Something like that. So apologies if this gets noisy, I don't know what it's going to be like, we'll see. Quite high pitched, that one. I'm going to tell you a little story after this. This is Brompton Road on the right hand side, this brick wall that you can sort of see. The end of the temporary speed limit's just ahead. So yeah, little story for you. It made me laugh. So I think most of you know that obviously we've got lots of engineering works on the Piccadilly line. So a couple of weeks back, there was no service between King's Cross and Cockfosters. So on the Sunday, I had to take the replacement bus. So the replacement bus, I picked it up at Cockfosters and it went Oakwood, Southgate, Arnesgrove, then across to Finchley Central to get the Northern Line down to King's Cross to pick my train up. Well, actually I was picking my train up at Acton Town. Anyway, that's kind of irrelevant. I'd done all that. At the end of the day, when I finished, I left the train on the platform at King's Cross, the next driver took it. So I needed to do the reverse to get back to Cockfosters. Anyway, so I stood on the Northern Line platform, waiting for my train. Let me just get stopped and then I'll continue that. So yeah, I was waiting for my train, I got my headphones in. I had to wait about 8 minutes, there was a couple of trains not going where I needed. And three, let's say, gentlemen walked past, had one too many to drink, and one of them sort of looking at me, realised I'm staff, and sort of walks back to me and asks for the way out. Now I'm stood right next to the way out sign, and it's not a platform I'm familiar with, so I just, you know, pointed. I just pointed the way the arrows were showing for the way out. Anyway, one of them turns around and says, "Oh, my mate's Australian as well." Okay, left it at that. And as he was walking away, he turns around and shouts back, "What part of Australia are you from?" I said, "I'm not, I'm English. I I won't use the language he used, but he called me a liar. He wouldn't have it that I'm not Australian. You had to be there, because people on the platform was just looking at me as this guy sort of effing at me that I'm lying to him, that I'm actually Australian. Yeah. I thought it was amusing anyway. I mean, when I go to the US, they often think I'm Australian, but I suppose Australian and English to someone like the Americans is pretty similar. It's like Canadian and American, pretty similar if you're not used to it. Oh, so excuse me, just going to get some water. Give me bottle. There it is. Oh dear. Got a frog in my throat, I think. Sorry, this was Hyde Park. The one before that was Knightsbridge. And once again, because they're taking the notice down, I forgot to tell them about the lift. Let's do it now before I forget. I'd just like to advise passengers, due to lift maintenance work, there's currently no step-free access from the Piccadilly line at Green Park until approximately November of this year. I'm sure they all know about it now, but at least no one can say I didn't tell them. Yeah, so there you go, I'm a liar. The funny thing is, it's not the first time I've been called it. I put a video on TikTok, and it was just a 1-minute video filmed somewhere between sort of Oakwood and Southgate, and quite a few people called me a liar because it's not the underground, because it's outside, so I'm a liar. It made me chuckle. I mean, I'm not sure what the benefit of me saying I'm on the underground if I'm not achieves, but there you go. Right, Green Park. Let's see how busy it is. 25-mile-an-hour limit there. And we stop with the green in the door. If you've seen the little green to one side, you've got a black and yellow bit, and then it goes green, and that green should be in like the cab door, as we call it, and then you're in the right spot. Some places are diamonds on the floor as well. Everyone on, yeah, let's go. Piccadilly Circus next. Yeah, I'm sure someone would know, but I wonder what was named first. Was Piccadilly Circus Station named, and then the Piccadilly line got its name from that? Or did they name it after the Piccadilly line and that's why the area is called Piccadilly Circus? Who knows? I'm sure someone does. Not that it really matters. Got a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit just coming up here. We are slightly downhill. I'm doing about 25. Good evening all, how are we all? You all well? Good evening. Hello. Good evening. No one says it back, so rude. Piccadilly Circus. These tiles need a good wash. So there's not so many people getting on, but there's quite a lot getting off. Leicester Square is next. signals on. I think there's 3 signals before the platform, or is it 2? Can't remember now. 3. So I'm not sure how close I am to the train ahead, but I don't want to come round a corner like that thinking there's nothing there. Well, from a distance it looked quite busy, but it's not. Hello, doggy. So as I've said 100 times I think on here, if you use the Piccadilly line, you want to go to Covent Garden, I advise you always get off here at Leicester Square. Covent Garden station is very small, you either use lots of steps or wait for a lift, and it is literally just the other side of the green in the distance. And on a pleasant day today, like today, it's nice to get outside. So this is one station. If any of these signals was red, we would have waited in the station, because we don't want to run the risk of stopping with one car on the platform if we can avoid it. Yeah, that's how close it is. I've often wondered how much money the Underground would save if they shut this station and everyone used Leicester Square. The cost of lift maintenance, the electricity, the staff. But it is used well, I suppose. Holborn is next, or Holborn, however you want to pronounce it. This gap in the wall on the right hand side, that's the westbound Piccadilly line. Got 20 mile an hour speed limit into the platform at Holborn, change there for the Central line.
Green Park through to Acton Town westbound. Green Park through to Acton Town westbound. Holborn platform, new drivers, platforms and hold. Got signal issue Acton Town westbound. That's Green Park through to Acton Town westbound, platforms and hold.
Okay, looks like something's going on at Acton on the west. Just going to turn that radio up a bit so I don't miss a message. And that's Holborn. I know what I needed to do. I never wrote this number in my book. 223. I always write what train I'm driving and the leading car number either end, because then if they come up to me tomorrow or next week and say you was involved in this incident, I can say, well, what train was it? And I can say I wasn't on that train, or I was, or what have you. It does happen now and again where they get the details wrong, but at least I can say, okay, that's my train number, but what's the leading car number? Okay, I wasn't driving that. So the track you would have seen just on the right, that's the old Witch branch. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know, I hope you know, just behind this signal ahead is a hidden 25 mile an hour speed limit. It's not hidden, but where it's been placed, or where the signals have been placed, it is just about to see it just on the right there. So if you can't remember it's there, you will go round too fast. Russell Square, that's where we are. It's an odd station, this one. Sometimes it's really busy and most of the time it's not. Now the stopping mark in this station's a bit different. We stop with the monitors in the door, so I can look out the cab door at the monitors. King's Cross is next. Alright, let's see. 31. We're about 4 minutes late. Not the end of the world. But in theory, we won't be held at King's Cross or places like Wood Green and Rayners Grove, so we may well arrive on time at Cockfosters.
Piccadilly controller general message for westbound train bound Green through to King's Cross. Drivers, platforms and hold for me please due to a signalling issue in the Acton Town area. That's bound Green through to King's Cross.
Signalling issue at Acton Town. King's Cross, St Pancras. Just put on some lip balm. I get especially with the air conditioning on, I get sore lips. Just realised I didn't show you things like Down Street, but I have shown them before, so apologies. Just past that second green ahead is York Road Disused Station. Next stop is Caledonian Road. It's a bit of a run to Caledonian Road, but actually we can't get up too much speed. I don't think I've gone much above about 35 miles an hour. So you just see a light in a doorway, that is Barron's Court, sorry, that's York Road on the right hand side here. I don't know why I said Barron's Court, my mind's obviously elsewhere. We've got 3 signals ahead before the platform. We've got 1 closer, then 2 just before the platform. So this one that you can see, if that's red when you come around that corner, it just gives you a little bit of a wake up, a bit of a shock, even though you've got a long way to stop. Yeah, we're doing about 33 miles an hour, and that's in full speed. We've been in full speed all the way from King's Cross. I'm not 100% sure about the gradient here. I think it goes up and down and up again. I don't know. I could look at the book, it will tell me, but think it really matters. Cali Road. I did say in one of my other videos I was going to do a video with a recap of all the things we've talked about, all the signs and things like that. I haven't done that just yet. In fact, this is the first video I've recorded actually in a couple of weeks on the Underground, for one reason or another. I've also had station staff have come out with me. I've got a driver from another line who's meant to be coming out with me tomorrow. So it just limits what I can film as well, so I'm not going to record when I've got people in the cab with me. Holloway Road is next. Generally are not very busy going in this direction. Finsbury Park is about the only one that's busy, or Arsenal on a match day can be busy, but generally people are getting off at these stations in this direction, which we class as eastbound, which I know technically we're not going east. It's just easier to call it east and west, because then you know exactly which way they're calling. So they've called trains on the westbound, I know it's not me, even though I might technically be going north or northwest. It's just easier. Arsenal next, or Gillespie Road as it used to be called. Again, very quiet station.
Piccadilly controller general message for westbound trains bound green through to Holborn. That's westbound trains bound green through to Holborn. Drivers, if you can move up 3 stations and hold there, please. Westbound trains bound green.
So he's just told them on the west they can move up 3 stations and then hold. Yeah, sorry, Arsenal is very quiet, as I've said, unless it's football. It's a very small station. So if the camera picked it out, you'll see on the tiles it does say Gillespie Road. So I think there's 2 people getting on and one, actually there's a few getting off there. It's probably 10 or 11. It's quite busy. Oh no, even more. Oh, maybe 15. Oh, it's a busy day. Station staff will be panicking with that many. Anyway, Finsbury Park. Change for the Victoria line. There's a bit, if you've seen my other videos, where you can see the Victoria line. There's a gap in the wall, in the tunnel wall. Every time I'm filming though, there's no Victoria line passing. Maybe today will be the day. We've got a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. Finsbury Park is a strange platform. You've got a hump on it, you've got bends on it, so you do have to be a bit careful. In both directions, that is. So there we go, almost 30 mile an hour. The gap for the Victoria line, you'll see the points actually for engineering trains to get across. It's just here. Yeah, still no Victoria line train. Yeah, I guarantee if I'd have turned the camera off, there'd have been a Vic line train there. Anyway. Wave to the children. Everyone wants to wave to me today. sometimes the problem can be a child will be on the platform waving. I don't see them to the last second. I don't have time to wave, and then I feel bad. Because I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them. Although, if I'm honest, half the time I think it's the parents that want to wave and not the kids. Manor House is next. What we got? Let's see. See how many stations we got left. What we got? Manor. Hang on. There's 4 here. 8 stations. Yeah. 4 in the pipe. Well, technically 5 in the pipe because Southgate's in a tunnel, and 3 outside. See the lights reflecting on the rail, and there it is. I've just gone into a bit of higher braking. I was doing about 35 miles an hour, so I put it in service 3 just to bring it down. Generally, when the train stops, I want to be in service 1. It just makes it a bit of a smoother stop. I certainly don't want it in emergency or anything if I can avoid it. And we're all on. For my Dad's Army fans that have watched my videos before, you know what the next station is. Don't tell them your name. Pike Lane. Probably the best line in comedy, I think, that one. But it's Turnpike Lane anyway, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about.
Between Green and Turner Green, we are now on the route in the down area, so you can go on the 6.2. That is westbound trains, Woods Green, route to Turner Green, on the westbound.
So on the westbound, even though it's not 10:30, it sounds like they stopped a train on the platform at Turnham Green. They would have opened their doors to allow passengers to take the district line and things if they wish. And the same may have happened at Ravenscourt Park. On the west, they could have also done it at Stamford Brook. You could stop and open your doors as well. So we have caught up with the train in front. I don't know if it'll come out on camera. You'll see a green ahead, and you might just see a yellow behind that, which has now gone green. So over the next couple of stations, I expect to see reds because at Wood Green, trains can detrain and go into the sidings. The train will be held there to time. So just because I'm late, the train in front might be early, so it could be held to time. And you've got the same issue when you get to Arnos Grove. You've got trains reversing, you've got trains going out of service, you've got trains changing drivers.
Piccadilly controller, once again, general message for all westbound trains between Wood Green.
You've got trains being held to time, so in those sort of areas, you expect to see reds, even if you haven't seen a red anywhere else. Of course, if you get there and there are no reds, great. So don't tell them your name, Pike Lane. And that should change that signal when we stop. There you go. I'm going to stand up. my seat away. Quite a busy station, this one. Next is Wood Green. So I think it's next weekend from when this video comes out, assuming I do edit it, get it edited this week. There'll be no services between Wood Green and Cockfosters from Saturday the 17th of August right through till, I think it is the 1st of September. I think that must be the Sunday, I think. So 16 days of no trains between Wood Green and Cockfosters, including weekdays. So for us as drivers, there will be some days probably where we're not driving trains. Other days we'll be taking the replacement buses down to Wood Green. And then for like me at Cockfosters, we'll probably do something like a Wood Green, Heathrow, Acton, have a break. For argument's sake, then it'll be Acton, let's say Heathrow back to Wood Green, and that'll be us finished, because we'll be given the travel time as well. It could also be Rayners Lane as well, but it gives you a general idea of the sort of duties we'll do then. Hopefully, I was going to do it when we was doing the King's Cross. I'll take you and film the whole day, including the replacement bus. Not the whole journey on the bus, but just bits of it, if I can. But we'll worry about that in a couple of weeks. Time we're due at Arness. I don't know where, we're still a few minutes late, but thing is, as a driver, you don't want to run late, but you can't get cocky and try and make your time up. I mean, yeah, sometimes you can make a bit of time up, but you can't compromise safety. You can't think, well, normally I'll come into a platform at 20, I'm going to come in at 30, because that's when you start having incidents. I would rather run late than have a spad, an overrun, or injure a passenger because I've shut the doors too early. Those sort of things. Next is Bounds Green. Trains are backing up from Arness Grove, then you can get held, you know, actually right back to Wood Green, but you know, you can get held at these signals as well. So it's just about knowing what's going on ahead and what you can anticipate, which today at the moment anyway we're clear, which is great. But I think, as I said earlier, if you come round a corner expecting everything to be clear because you haven't seen a train, and you're approaching somewhere like Wood Green or something, or the train in front could be going in the sidings and it just catches you off guard. So we've got one signal, one red signal between here and outside. See the repeaters on in the tunnel, but hopefully that'll clear before we get to it. So to be fair, we're not far behind the train in front, so we couldn't really make up much more time. Now some drivers will wait here, well that signal's cleared anyway. Some will wait there till it does clear. Me, I'd rather drive up to it 10 miles an hour, hoping it clears before I get there. Unless I know there's an issue ahead, and then I'd remain on the platform. But generally you don't know what's going on until after. So we're clear out the pipe, out the tunnel. Next stop, Arness Grove. So So this is the signal just ahead that was red that I was talking about as we was coming down the platform. There's a signal just outside, just up the hill, and then it drops down to 20. So I'm just going to bring the speed down a little bit. That signal has changed. So I'm just going to bring it a bit of power. There's a 20 mph speed limit just past that green. So it's doing 20 mph now. It'll drop down a little bit because obviously the rear of the train is still climbing, but we need to slow down for this next signal anyway. So we're routed into the middle platform.
Piccadilly Line information with a customer service government.
And there we go. I'm going to put my books away whilst they're doing that. Hopefully that's in right. Let's boogie. I'm not going to get that song stuck in my head again. So you can see they started to do work. It looks like there's some membrane there for weed control. They've dug a bit of a trench here. I actually don't know what works they're going to be doing. I think they're replacing the points. They're doing some work in the sidings. I think 4 of the sidings at Arnus are out of action. They're replacing the track. I'm guessing they'll be extending it as well for the new trains. Next stop is Southgate. We're going to back in the tunnel in a minute. Come on, train. We are going uphill, doing about 32, 33 miles an hour. It does struggle a little bit. It's pretty much all uphill now to Cockfosters. Almost anyway, there is some flat bits, but generally it's uphill. Or as the Yorkshire people would say, uphill. Go uphill. I don't think that's quite how they say it, but probably just offended everyone in Yorkshire. Hi-ho! We're clearing the platform at Southgate. The station starter at Southgate will be red, it's always red. As long as the train ahead has cleared the section ahead, just as we stop the train or just before we stop the train, it will clear. If it doesn't, then it's because the train's ahead. I know I'm near the train because I saw the repeater was on. So keep your eye on that signal there, see when it changes. See? What did I tell you? And people call me a liar. How dare they? So at night, when I'm doing my last eastbound trip, it can often be slow between here and Cockfosters, especially between here and Oakwood, as you've got trains going into Oakwood Depot. During the day, it's generally not so bad unless there's disruption. Again, it's just about being mindful for what's going on ahead of you. If you know there's trains, if all the trains ahead of you are terminating, then you're going to expect to see, or you should expect to see reds as you approach Oakwood and Cockfosters. Just going to have a mint. Anyone for a mint? No? Alright. So again, we're going uphill. It's doing about 33 miles an hour. Probably not going to get much more out of that. That's in full power. But you probably won't see it just yet. The next signal's red anyway. Hopefully it'll change when we get there, because it's usually red. But it's gonna, yeah, it's changed. So, and there's one more round the corner before the platform. Well, actually, no, there's two. That's the first one, and then there's another one just round the corner. I do know what I'm doing, I'm honest. And there's your other one. So this is Oakwood. So the track on the left hand side goes into the depot. I have featured that before. We're going straight up into the sun. And hopefully the camera will last this very last little bit. Because I know a lot of you have been asking for full length videos. I hadn't actually intended on recording this today, but then I realised I probably wouldn't get a chance to record anything else this week and have time to edit it ready for this weekend. I know someone's asked for Cockfosters to Uxbridge during the day. I do have Uxbridge, just off the top of my head, I'm sure I'm going to Uxbridge on Friday or Saturday. I'll have to double check, but I will get that filmed at some point when I can. So we've got one more red before the platform, and that's got a routing indicator, and we'll be going into platforms 1, 2 or 3. If it's platform 1, we'll just get a green signal. If it's the middle platform, or platform 3 actually, as we open the doors on the right hand side, we'll get the 3 lights off at a right hand angle. Or if we get platform 4, which is what we're going to get, you'll get 3 lights horizontal, you'll see. Yeah, it looks like we're going into 4. There you go. We'll shortly be arriving at Cockfosters, where this train will terminate. Oh, change please, oh, change. Does it sound like I'm saying oil change? 15 mile an hour speed limit. There is a speed controlled train stop. They don't all drop at 15 mile an hour though. If you go platform 1, you want to be doing closer to 10 or 12 before it drops. There we go. Right, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, take care. And I'm going to be nice to this driver, honestly. All take care. Thanks again.